And you're on.
Good morning, Mojave County. This is Jansen Villegas, and welcome to the Jansen Show. Today, I have the luxury and the privilege of speaking with Captain Kenny and Andrea Probst.
Good morning.
That is with Laughlin Casino Jet Boat Tours. They are a very, very cool place to go visit here, a huge tourist attraction. And of course, I want to ask a little bit about it and let them kind of explain what they do and their origin story, and just have a little bit of fun. So let us know, Captain Kenny, how'd you guys start out?
So we opened up January 15th, and we've been running and gunning since then. Andrea and I had a son about 8 months ago. He's kind of born really sick, so we had a lot of time sitting in the hospital.
About 80 days, actually.
Wow.
And so we were kind of sitting there. I was a boat salesman for Eagle for quite a while, and I was like, I really want to do something that we can bring our boys up in, and I could have the freedom, if something were to happen, to be able to go home and take care of him. And then as they got older, of course, bring them on the boat with us. And our 2-year-old comes on the boat all the time with us. So we kind of looked around, shot some different ideas. I had my 6-pack license already. We upgraded to a master's. And then
what's the 6-pack license?
So a 6-pack license allows you to run 6 people in an uninspected vessel.
Oh.
So when you get your master's, you got to have hours on a bigger vessel. And then it's inspected by the Coast Guard every year. So they come out every year and they basically tear our boat down, tell us, hey, change this, do this isn't safe anymore. So we spent about 6 months going through the boat, redoing all the wiring. And then Coast Guard came out, inspected, gave us flying colors. We bought the boat from a local business here in town that bought it a few years ago and really didn't do anything with it. And so that's kind of where we're at now.
Wow, that's super cool. So it sounds like your origin story is pretty powerful. I mean, God bless. I'm so happy that everything played out, and now you guys are succeeding with your the risk that you took and saying I want that freedom. So that's super cool. How long have you guys been open with this the jet boat tours?
You want to answer that one?
So we started on January 15th. We have been running every night doing booze cruises except for Wednesdays.
Cool.
Honestly, it's gotten pretty rowdy on there. But it also, occasionally we'll have a group of people that, they just went out to dinner on the weeknights and they just want to, cruise through the water, see the sunset.
What does the booze cruise imply?
Ooh, so it's $40. It is a 90-minute cruise all the way down to the Davis Dam. So you can BYOB, so you can bring your own little cooler if you'd like, or you can get something up at like the bar and bring like a bucket or something. And we have speakers, lights, so there's a whole ambiance.
Oh wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, so it's a whole ambiance.
You can connect to our Bluetooth radio. We've had guys mariachi dancing up there.
Really?
Last night I had a group, or not a group, but a couple that celebrated their honeymoon in Laughlin, so it was just them on the boat.
Cool.
So they got to,
Was the boat rocking?
It looks really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks pretty personalized. Like it sounds like you can like you mentioned, connect to your Bluetooth, and then the environment right there on all the pictures.
It's really, our booze cruises, like I tell everybody, it's really what you make of it. So,
Right.
like, if you want to bring a big group out, you can rent the whole boat out. So the cost of that is $600 for a 2-hour booze cruise.
Wow.
The 22 passengers.
It's 22 passengers. So the Mojave JV girls are celebrating their end of the season with us on Thursday, so tomorrow evening, and they rented the whole boat out. So we do rent the whole boat out. So it's kind of what you guys want to make of it. Or if you end up going out with, people you didn't know, then like make friends with them, have some, drinks with them, party on the boat.
We've had people leave the boat, and by the end they're high-fiving the other
Oh, wow.
passengers.
Exchanging
So a lot-
numbers, hanging out with each
Yeah.
other.
Seriously.
So a lot of it is like you guys are kind of there just to accommodate them, but it's pretty much the passengers get to like personalize.
it's pretty much a party bus on the
Wow.
water.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah,
that's
that's
what
nice.
that's what we're that's what we wanted to offer is we're both born and raised locals here,
Cool.
and we boat every weekend on our personal boat with our kids, our kid at the time, and we were kind of like we don't have anything if visitors come and they want a short ride, or so we offer a couple different things. So we offer the booze cruise,
Right.
and then on Friday and Saturday we go to Lake Havasu.
Oh.
And so that's a full 6-hour day. We're there docked at Lake Havasu for 2 to 2.5 hours, and so you can just run the channel.
And we dock right at the London Bridge Resort. So what's different about us than other companies here in town is the other companies that go down, they dock on the other side, so you have to cross the bridge. Where I've worked a deal with Cal Sheehy, we park right next to the big Dixie Belle, that big steamboat or paddle boat. and you're right in front of the Blue Chair.
Cool.
Burgers on the lake.
Yeah, burgers
or,
on the water. Or
on
something
the water,
like that.
yeah. So
So
right by all the shopping.
It's a great location.
So do
honestly.
you guys stop at different locations as you're going, or is it like the one go-to stop?
It's the one go-to stop. So the way it works is we leave the dock at 9 a.m. Nevada time, so 10 a.m. for all you Arizona guys. And we head down to Lake Havasu. It's a straight shot. We stay there for 2 hours, and then we come back up. If you're lucky, I'll do some kind of fun donuts or something with you because the boat turns like on a dime on a jet ski.
Oh, wow.
Like a jet ski, yeah.
Sick.
And then
Donuts on the water.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Captain Kenny gets a little loose, huh?
Yeah, I was like,
I
wait,
enjoy
huh?
doing it. I did it with the guys of the honeymoon last night. I was like, so you guys want to do something fun? They're like,
Liven 'em up,
yeah.
liven 'em up.
Or sometimes we've gotten an older gentleman. He's a Harley guy, and he's like, so I read online that you have 2 LS Corvette motors. So what can we do? And I was like, I popped up and I was like, babe, can you like do it? I was like, yeah, he really wants to do something. Can we do something?
Can you show what we got?
Yeah.
Check it out.
And then our Topak one is we do the same thing. We head from here. We stop at Topak 66. So right now we're working with the guys to get brunch included. But right now you have to purchase your brunch. But they do offer 20% off to all of our customers.
Oh,
so,
wow.
I mean,
Very cool.
basically they're paying for your brunch at the end of it if you
Absolutely.
start to do the math. And then we take you through Topak Gorge, which is one of the most beautiful places that our area has to offer. You kind of see a bunch of animals, eagles, bighorn sheep, fox, coyote, a bunch of cool
Never know
stuff.
what you're going to see, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and in the summertime it's awesome because that's where all the big party boats are, and so when you go through there you get to see a lot of boats that we don't get to see in this area just because
Right.
there's a lot of
Bigger boats.
yeah.
People
Yeah.
don't like to bring their stuff up this way. Like
No, the
nicer
river's not
boats.
that deep. Not like the
No.
lake, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
and you
Sketch.
have, and it's just it's a
Dangerous,
little,
too.
It's a little crazier.
Yeah,
out
a lot of
here.
river lice
Yeah.
out there, jet skis.
So I know that when I've been out like with my friends on the boats and stuff, depending on how close you are to the area, there's like pits of sand. Do you have to
Oh,
be
yeah.
pretty
Navigate
good
for
about
sure.
knowing the river? I mean,
So,
you're familiar with it
when-
at this
yeah,
point?
so
That's
when-
part of the captain.
So when we went down to
Captain Ken.
Topak, we actually just did a trip Tuesday, right? No, Monday. And it was only 2 units of water. So there's literally places where I'm banking really hard left and immediately really hard right. and-
I'm so proud. I just want to say from the first time we got on that boat, I mean, now he just maneuvers it like I'm.
Like a jet ski.
You guys
Oh,
are synchronized.
I'm just.
Yeah, I mean it's a 30-foot boat, so like so up by Palo Verde Meadows, if you guys are familiar with the area, there's a really big rock bar that kind of sits in the middle and on the far left. And so in our personal boat, when I start to make that hard bank to the left, we have like maybe 10, 15 feet. But when you're in a 30-foot boat, I'm 6 feet off the shore,
So
spinning
you have
the
to
back
be
end
pretty
around.
accurate.
Yeah.
Wow. You know who else I feel like, man, that guy's really good. And I don't know, like a dude that has the Riverside boat, one that like stops and parks.
The
right
taxi?
next to
Oh, the
dock.
water taxi.
Oh, that guy's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
talented.
Hey, but
it.
they get to cheat. They get to cheat because they have bumpers on the front of
They
the
do.
dock.
That's right.
They're
If
allowed
you've
to
ever-
crash.
True.
Yeah.
If you've ever
Yeah,
seen
that's
them
true.
come in, sometimes I'll watch them because they'll dock like right in front of our boat, and I watch them come in, and I'm like, babe, are they gonna hit?
They hit it hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
they do. No, and they whip it around because they have a couple different
Yeah,
drivers.
you're right.
They have a lot of different
They
drivers.
use
and
it for
I
that.
sit there
Yeah.
and I watch him, and he comes in and
No.
he hits the dock and
No.
moves, and I'm like, yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
He's really good at what he does.
I mean, they are. They're pretty cool, actually. We talk to them on the radio. We make jokes. We'll say,
Oh, really?
Yeah, we made pretty good friends with all of them, and that's what's
Cool.
cool about being up in that area is everybody's kind of a small community because that's how we all make our living is on the
course.
water. So, we spend all day long, hey, I had a few people talk about this, or like I'll radio them and be like, hey, we got guys that are looking to take the water taxi. So it works out really perfect where, we're one big community kind of out there.
Absolutely. Do you
Well,
guys
I got some footage I want to show you. You guys can talk about it as we run
Okay.
it, but it's really cool from where we start at the dock when I went for a ride with you guys, and we go up towards the dam, which a lot of people have never seen from the water
Yeah.
perspective.
Right.
So let's go ahead and roll that video, and you guys can
Cool.
talk about it while we take a little ride in the boat. How's that?
Perfect.
Give us
All
a
right, here we
tour.
go. Yeah, tell us what's happening here.
So this is us leaving the dock on a really, really windy day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was. It was so.
So
windy.
depending
You couldn't
on
even tell from the inside.
Yeah, so we're
Here's
fully
Christy.
enclosed, so the boat's really warm. In fact, the guys that we just took to Topak asked us to open up the middle in the
It
middle
gets
of the day.
hot with the sun.
So-
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's nice at night in the booze cruises because even if it's blowing 50 miles per hour, you have no idea. And we have a bathroom on board too. I don't know if we've mentioned that yet.
Oh,
but
nice.
Yes. So when you need to break the seal, I got you covered.
Good, man.
But we are powered by 2 Corvette LS motors. So depending on our load, we're pretty quick. We can do anywhere between 40 to 50 miles per hour depending on the load. And then, if we're a real heavy load, we're still doing about 30, 33 miles per hour upriver. So,
oh, yeah, and that was in the wind, too. I was impressed for sure.
Wow.
We start moving along right here.
Yes.
And we can run in about 8 inches of water is what the manufacturer recommends. But truthfully, there's times like coming back up from Topak, we were in 1.5 units of water, and we ran in about 4 to 6 inches of water at times. So, I mean, we're pretty capable to handle any kind of water condition we have out here. So nothing really shuts us down other than rain. We try to go as often as we can. Right now, we're running for Friday and Saturday. I've got a local special. Our tickets normally cost $125 to go down to Lake Havasu, but we're doing $95 plus tax. So I think it works out to $105.
Great deal.
Yeah, it works out to $105 and some change out the door. So we're just trying to fill seats right now, kind of during our slower time to make sure that everybody kind of gets a good idea of who we are just because we're a new company.
Right.
And, one of the things that I really try to differ from the other companies is I really want to build a relationship with our clients on the boat. So I'm not the...
And our locals.
Yes, and I'm not the captain that'll just sit up there and doesn't talk. What I try to do is, when we're in the no-wake zone, I try to invite people up on the back deck, talk to them, or Andrea will take the wheel for a couple of minutes, and I'll go down and make sure everybody's okay. We have complimentary water on board, so we really try to meet the needs of everybody. And really big is we wanted to provide something for the locals that's more local-oriented because there's not a lot, the only thing we really do in the summertime out here is go to the water.
Right.
So this is
even in the winter. What do you mean?
Yeah, true.
I feel like a lot of locals, because they're so used to being at the river, they wouldn't really go about knowing that, something like this. I wouldn't have, you know what I mean? But you're right.
My thought with him was, what about the dads, the local dads that do own boats? They want to drink too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
They want to be on the water, and they want to have, because he doesn't, obviously, when we have our kids, the only time he drinks on the water is if I say, like, I'm not drinking that day, I'll drive the boat.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, hey, it's for,
yeah, and that's where that's where my mind went, is like, you can really kind of have the full experience of being out on the water, but you have a professional, and not even a professional, you have Captain Kenny.
That's right.
Out there, providing you a good experience.
And we wanted to provide a price point that, kind of meets the needs of everybody. So our booze cruises run $40 for 90 minutes. Yeah. Our Topak 66 trips and Topak Gorge trips run you $85, and then our Havasu trips run $125. So it's not, completely outrageous pricing or anything like that.
Which I wanted to mention, I think I was thinking about it the other day when we were down there. You get to go through the Topak Gorge without having, because we drive an extra, 20, 30 minutes down there. So that's, for the $85, you're getting basically, you're just not going to Havasu.
Yeah, and the gorge is
that's because that's the
really
last natural flowing part of the Colorado River, actually.
Oh, really?
It's the water, we were just talking about it. Every time I go down there, we've been down there hundreds of times, and the water is emerald green, and the rocks are just this beautiful rustic red. It's just... I don't
Gorgeous,
know. I'm obsessed. I'm a local, and I'm obsessed with our
I feel a little
area.
ashamed for not being as familiar with it.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
need to.
Yeah.
It's, the river we have here, it's beautiful, yes, but if you have not seen the Topak Gorge, it's like a different place. Literally, it's like I jump in the water like it's paradise.
Wow, yeah.
And one of the things we offer, too, just so you guys know, if you come with us, is if you bring your cameras, I always recommend it. Take pictures and send them to us, and if we use them on our website, we give you guys an extra 10% off.
Oh, cool.
On your next ride. So
just like, I got that.
I'll do video.
Yeah. Jeff's like, I'm going to have my whole trip paid for.
That's right.
I've seen a lot
We'll
of
bring the studio on the boat.
Yeah.
You guys have a Facebook page, Instagram page, all that stuff?
And we're pretty active on it. I try to post, if you come on a trip with us, I try to get you on our website within the week and our Facebook within the week, just so you can feel like you're part of, the family growing, because we really want to create an atmosphere where you come back with your friends and family and you're excited to show off our beautiful community from the water with your guests that you might not be able to do if you didn't own a boat, or if you wanted to just be able to drink with them or hang out with them.
Yeah, and then what BOAT stands for is bust out another 1,000.
Oh,
so
you
if
don't
you want to have
a lot more than that.
Yeah,
well, 2 Corvette motors, I would assume.
Well, and this boat was built in '89 originally, so I mean we've dumped a lot of money into it as far as doing upgrades on all the wiring,
the lights,
the
so the interior lights were.
We're putting a brand new toilet in it later today.
nice.
So like it's one of those things that like we really want to take this boat and bring it to the next level and
Right.
continue to give it more of a new life, I guess you should say.
Yeah, and it
'cause-
definitely looks extremely appealing, like from everything I've seen. You know, it's what about for example, Valentine's Day? Have you guys gotten a lot of special requests?
We actually haven't booked a lot for Valentine's Day just yet, but we are definitely going to be doing our booze cruises, so I expect that they'll be pretty poppin'. People typically book 2 to 3 days out from us, so if you are looking to do something for Valentine's, this would be a great option. But you're probably going to want to book because I anticipate.
Better do it now.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'd anticipate
absolutely.
that once it gets a little bit closer, we're going to sell out pretty quickly because that's kind of been the trend lately. Is we get all the folks coming in that are staying in Laughlin and they walk by and they're like, oh, so we get a lot of last minute bookings, but it tends to fill up.
Where are you
rather
guys
quickly.
stationed out of? Like, do you guys get people that just come walking by and want to be a part of it, or is it a lot of we booked in advance?
A little bit of both, honestly. Is my mic on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, sorry. It sounded funny. So it's actually a little bit of both. So that's why a lot of the time, like if he's sitting out there working on the boat, I'll go out there and stand and I'll walk down the river walk and see what I can round up.
Right.
But also that's why we're really appreciative to be doing something with you guys to kind of get our name out there with the locals because
appreciate your time.
we would love for it to be we want locals to be like, oh, what are we doing this weekend? We should hit up the Laughlin Casino
Yeah.
Jet
And
Boat.
Go check 'em out.
We're at the Pioneer. You can't miss us. We're right on the water. It's a bright yellow kiosk.
We always
Love
have
the Pioneer.
shirts, music.
Yeah, we always have music. There's shirts. Our shirts are hanging up, and there's typically somebody there all day long. It's either her or I or both of us. And it's been really interesting because I thought we'd get a lot more tourists this time of year, but it's actually been a pretty 50-50 mix with locals. So,
Wow.
I mean, we're really appreciative that, the people have come out and supported us. Just
Definitely.
being a new business.
Well, let's boost the local revenue. I don't think a lot of people, like I said, would know to search for anything like this. So if you guys out there are looking to have a really good, fun time, take 90 minutes out of your day and hang out with Captain Kenny.
And
See some of the river that you've never seen before.
Yeah, like I said,
That's what I thought
I'll
was
end
cool.
up doing this now because I need to.
well, I was gonna. I love it because my thought is, we had our very first night. We had the rowdiest group we've ever had. They went to dinner, they brought all their own alcohol, and then they just walked on down to Losers afterwards, and they were already, pretty well off for the night. So I mean,
They were
And it was
tanked.
funny because we had two separate groups. So we had
that
this
was the one
group
that
of
high-fived
five,
each other.
and then and they were pretty toasted when they
Right.
showed up on the boat. And then we had these two that were kind of quieter, and I was like, man, I don't know if this group's gonna mesh well
Yeah.
together. And
blend.
it
So
ended up
much
being the
fun.
dude's birthday, so the whole boat sung him
Sang
happy
happy
birthday.
birthday.
And by the time that guy got off of the boat, he was just as toasted as those guys.
God,
And I was like,
that was
yes.
a good time.
No, and he told us, he was like, because it was his girlfriend's, they were from California, it was his girlfriend's first time coming to Laughlin, and he goes, when we got here, I told her it's either Bullhead or Laughlin, and there's not much in either place, and he goes, and this exceeded the whole expectation
that's
for everything,
awesome.
and so it just, honestly, for our opening night, that made, we
Yeah.
were on our way
Like,
home.
we got this.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we were like,
That was
it
a good
just,
boost.
yes,
We
it
were like,
was.
yes,
Open
all right,
for
we
sure.
got this. Because
We were stoked.
when you open a new business and you essentially dump your whole life savings in it, you're always like, all right, is this gonna work?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I
Crossing
started to
your
have
am I
panic
gonna be
attacks.
sleeping in the excursion with my kids?
The 6 months leading up to it, I was like, this is fine. We'll be fine. It'll be great. And then we got about 2 weeks out to opening, and I was like, wait a second. I was like,
You're like,
our-
this better work.
I was
Yeah.
like, our living is coming
Captain.
off of other people's willingness
Exactly.
to
Right.
have fun.
Well, you got to risk it to get the biscuit there, and you guys definitely went about it.
I was impressed with also, I want to add, how smooth that boat is. It was a
Yeah.
windy day. It was choppy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you see me standing right there
Right,
talking to Christy.
and I'm
Chilling.
expecting at least, to be rocking a little
No.
bit or maybe
Shout
having
out
to hold
Christy.
on or something, but
Yeah.
no. It was smooth as silk. It was really
the
impressive.
boat's really designed to do more than what our river actually offers.
Yes.
So this boat's designed to go in rapids, up waterfalls. I mean, it's a really, really rugged boat. It's a really wide boat. So, I mean, pretty much anything that our river can even offer. I mean, even in the summertime when we get a lot of, boat traffic and jet ski traffic out here, it's going to be a smooth ride for you. And, a part of that does come from experience because you got to know how to hit the waves and all
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of fun stuff. But you know, a lot of it, I mean, the boat makes me look good. So
Yeah.
I can't complain at all.
Do a lot of people want to jump up there where you're at driving?
Yeah, so I mean, I typically try to keep everybody sitting while we're, you know, going
Right.
fast, because there's not a lot of places that you can kind of hang on up there.
Right.
And it gets a little. My sunglasses. I've lost like 3 pairs of sunglasses. You stand up there and it's like.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But
I almost lost my phone.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
but we go through, like any of our long trips, we go through 3 no wake zones. So I mean, that's a good time to come up, especially if you're a smoker. Like I always tell everybody, wait till it. You got 3 no wake zones. It only takes me an hour from Laughlin to get to Topak, and then you got about another half-hour ride to get to Havasu. So, but you are free to walk around inside the boat while it's moving. You can use the restroom while it's moving. You know, I just kind of tell everybody, like, just know you're on the water doing
Right.
about 40 miles per hour. So,
It's the thing. Just do us a favor, Captain Kenny, for all us locals, because a lot of us do go treasure hunting in the water. Anybody you see with like Oakley glasses, just put them on the top deck.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it's funny. We were through the no wake zone of, I was right outside of Topak. I was driving and we were going slow, obviously, and I was like, look, a pair of sunglasses, a pair of sunglasses, a pair of
it
sunglasses.
was so shallow.
I
over
was
there.
like, wow, we need to just come out here and go snorkeling
Oh,
before it
yeah.
gets busy.
Me and my buddies always did that after the regatta.
Oh, yeah.
Or even like the day before, because a lot of people would do it the day before and
Yeah.
just go underwater.
I've lost so many. Literally, I finally invested in the heat waves that float. Because
Oh, there you
yeah,
go.
because they're like an extra $30. I was like, I'm not gonna do that. And then finally, after losing like 6 pair,
This
I was
is like an extra $200.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't
I was
making
like, you
sense.
could have bought a really, really nice
My
pair.
boss says a lot of a little adds up to a lot.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's very true.
And that's kind of been our motto with the whole boat build too, because you know I've not one of those people that'll be like, oh well, I could save $20 and put this cheaper part
Right.
in or do this. You know, we've really gone with the best quality because we're doing 60 miles one way to go to Havasu. So our big thing is we really want to provide a safe boat trip for our customers and have something that's going to last us a long, long time.
And you guys seem super passionate about what you're doing
yeah.
and why you're doing it. Do you guys, I mean, have you found yourself getting numb to doing the river as much as you do, or is it like every time it's pretty
No,
pretty
I
amazing?
mean,
It's amazing.
I love it. I haven't. I mean, I could talk to me in 6 months, maybe. but
Just starting, bro.
but
Yeah.
no, so far we really love it because here's the thing: is the
We've been
river.
doing it anyways,
Yeah,
also.
I mean, really, we do it anyways. But the river stays the same, yes. But our customers change, and where my passion comes from is sharing our beautiful community with
True.
folks that haven't maybe experienced it before. And
It's new every
I
time.
mean, how many locals do you know that have taken any other trip downriver? Not very many.
No,
on any of the
I
other
haven't.
and I
I've been here
haven't.
28 years.
Yeah, 29 years for me, and
I
I've
was gonna
never
say
done
29.
it.
So no, you're 30 this month, sweetheart.
Oh, well, I'm old
I'm
now.
30 in June.
Yeah.
Calling him out on his age.
Yeah,
I know,
thanks.
sorry.
It's just a number.
But we do it on our own boat, but it's different to bring people and really get them excited about it. I mean, when we went to Topak, there's a couple of eagles that have been living just a little bit south of the
Yes.
Pioneer. And everybody saw it, and when we stopped in Topak, they're like, did you see that? And I was like, yeah, it's really awesome. Like, we normally don't get a male and female pair out here this time of
Wow.
year. We saw a muskrat and a few other, different wildlife, and that's what, I'm an avid outdoorsman, so for me to be able to share that with, people is what really keeps me
No, I agree.
going and
That
interested.
sounds really amazing, and it sounds like just a super fun thing every day. I like this industry for that same reason. Is you kind of get to share your story and hear somebody else's story on a daily. It's
And
not
just-
like every time it's the same.
Just a lot of interaction. Like, that's what I love about it is I love walking down during the rides and just, hey, how's everyone going? Or,
Right.
like, a lot of the time I'm the one that breaks the ice between the other passengers that aren't talking.
Oh, cool. That's
You know what I
important.
mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm an awkward person. I've had to come out of my shell a lot for this job, actually, because I don't just usually talk to people like that. And
Right.
I don't know.
Hey, that's how you grow, getting a little uncomfortable. That's super cool. Now, you being, obviously you grew up here and everything like that. What do you think about dealing with inexperienced watercraft drivers? I mean, you're out there, you're a professional, you know what you're doing.
So-
I assume you see a lot of craziness.
That's a hard topic to cover because I don't want to,
Disrespect anyone.
well,
offend them all.
it booms our industry. The rental
does.
companies out here do. I mean, in the summertime, it's what you come out here to do.
Right.
So I understand the need for it.
we
we're-
wanted to offer something maybe so that way it's safer, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I
I
mean,
just feel like you see a lot of really, and I don't think, it's definitely not, I could see that you're saying because the rental companies. I just see so many young people
Yes.
driving.
So we
watercrafts.
we have horror stories. I mean, this last summer we were on our own personal boat.
I was
And
pregnant.
she was pregnant. I mean, like, we're talking like 8 months pregnant, and we've had to, stop the boat and kind of get it, not aggressive, but, tell these
Hey,
people,
chill.
like, hey, like,
'Cause
back
you're
off my
producing
boat.
waves,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
we
I
had
assume
about
people are,
four,
right
four
there.
jet skis. They were younger kids, but they were about 4 jet skis, and I wanted less than 5 feet between. And at one point, I had my chair turned backwards, and I had my best friend holding our toddler, and he was asleep. And so for me, as a pregnant mom, watching this, I'm getting chills watching a jet ski jump and almost land on the back of
Yeah,
my boat
that's
next
crazy.
to my baby and my best
And the-
friend. I started.
And the
I broke
problem
down.
isn't so much the inexperience in the jet
It's the
skis.
parents that allow it.
It's the lack of respect for the water. Because people don't understand how quickly our current moves. I mean, how many times
like the
we've
kids.
pulled people out of the water. We've been down at, my mom doesn't like to go on the boats. We've been down at Rotary with her, spending some time at the water. And we've literally watched, a little girl screaming, freaking out because
Yeah.
she
The
got
current
too
took
far
her.
and the current took her.
Yeah, it's sketchy.
We
'cause you
came
don't
up on
know.
a jet ski that was full
Had
of
four
four people
people.
on it, and they ended up kicking like the youngest kid off and said, "We'll be
And-
back for you." And I was like, "Your kid's not gonna make it." Like out here, like as
No.
blunt as that sounds, I
current
was like,
doesn't
"It's
forgive.
it's
No.
crazy." So and it's one of those situations where like I feel like if more people could understand the power of the river and respect what the river, like the
Is.
power of it,
Right.
Mother Nature at its finest,
Yeah.
then I feel like more people would be more cautious.
It
with
wasn't
what they're
until
doing.
like my older years that I started even really respecting the river. When I was younger,
Exactly.
I used to literally, because I lived near the river, and I don't know if you're familiar with like Park Lane.
Yeah.
So I used to literally, me and my buddies would float downriver. So we would get rid of everything we had. Like we didn't have sandals because we didn't like to swim with
Yeah.
No,
flip-flops.
exactly.
Yeah.
So we would wear nothing, and like because it's so hot, we would go from one piece of shade
Yeah, to the
on
next.
our heels.
We
to
all
the
did
next
that
piece of
growing up
shade.
here. Yeah.
So then coming down the river, the current's pulling you, and we would grab anchors like rocks, and the current pushes you, and you're just underwater running. You just jump up to get air.
Yeah.
And I used to do that, but
Yeah.
now I'm like, that's sketchy.
That's
you know?
dangerous. No, I agree. I used to do
So-
something
And in our area, basically from Davis Dam down to Rotary is so jam packed because all the rentals are centrally located.
Right.
That like it's one of those places where like I feel like you have to be super cautious. Like we aren't super stoked about having a big boat up there, but it's a lot better than having my small boat up there. I'll tell you
Right.
that right now.
I
So
bet.
it's one of those situations where like if you're going to rent a jet ski or even take your own personal watercraft up in that area, like all I can say is just be really, really careful because there's a lot of folks with inexperience, a lot of folks that drink and drive. And like, I've been really a stickler on that even since I was younger is it's like, why would I even put me or my passengers at risk?
Right.
Just be responsible. Have some drinks at the house afterwards when you're barbecuing or, if you are going to have a drink, have one or two and like call it a day if you're driving
It's just
the boat.
too quickly that something turns from hanging out on a jet ski to
Oh, yeah.
I hit because literally I've been on the jet skis just where the river's by itself, and me and my friends are playing around, splashing each other, and it takes nothing to like not notice where your friend is and then realize he's
That-
right there,
Well,
he's in front of you.
And the thing is, boats and jet skis don't have brakes, so you have to
that's true.
you have to anticipate.
there isn't brakes on them.
You have to anticipate where you're going, what you're doing, and you have to be aware of like your surroundings at all times. And the thing is our river, just for a fun fact, when we went and got our insurance, it was hard to find insurance to do a commercial operation out here because they
Right.
said this is the most dangerous section of the Colorado River. And I mean, think of how many sad stories we hear throughout the year. People come down to visit. It's a family reunion, and they come with
Yeah.
15 and 14 go home.
That's what sucks to
I've
hear.
covered
is, like,
many
when
of
they
them.
disappear.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
And it's rough, and it's because it makes me sad because we have such a unique area. I've lived in Alaska, I've lived in Europe, I've lived in different places. Just kind of in the journey of my life has taken me,
Wow.
but nothing is my home. And the reason my home is because of the water.
Right. So it sounds like you've definitely traveled and done some pretty cool
So
stuff.
why don't you tell them about your Alaska?
Yeah, I'd like to hear about that for sure.
So I was
That's what makes Captain Kenny Captain Kenny.
That is.
See, there's a Captain Kenny background story. Let's hear it. Oh, those are my friends.
So when I lived in Europe for a couple of years, and I taught English as a secondary language over there in Bulgaria. But then I came back because my mom got sick. And man, all my stories revolve around people getting sick.
I know.
That's pretty dope.
But after I got my mom healthy again, I was like, well, you know, I'm pretty young. I was like 22 at the time. I might have been actually 21. And I was like, I don't want to like do nothing. I don't want to just go to school. Like, and I've always been, I told my mom when I was like probably in third grade, I was like, I'm not going to school. When I found out I had to pay for college, I was like, I'm not doing it. And my mom's like, we got to do something. So don't follow kids. Don't follow my routine.
Or you could be a captain on a boat. If you
can. I had to go to school for that, and I had to pay for it. So, but I was kind of looking around for, I wanted to stay in the fishing and hunting industry because when I was young, I went on a fishing charter out here with Captain Doyle. If you old timers might remember, he was out here for years.
Doyle.
And so I was 14, and I wrote him an email when we got back. I was so excited because fishing's always been my passion. I was like, I want to work for you. And he's like, when you're 16, you can come work for me. So I wrote him on my 16th birthday, and he hired me on the spot because I waited 2 years.
Right.
You know?
It's like follow-up's good.
And
Always
so
been a go-getter, for sure.
Sounds like it.
The best advice he ever gave me was he's in his late 60s, 70s when I was working for him. And he said, I wish I would have followed my passion for the outdoors sooner.
Right.
And that stuck with me. So when I came back from Europe, I was looking around like, all right, what am I going to do? I want to follow this path. And I like blindly shot an email to this company and was like, hey, I have no experience on the ocean. But what can I do? And he goes, well, look, I've already hired my deckhands for the season, but come be a cook for me.
Wow.
So I went up there and I cooked for him, and I did dishes and worked with a really crabby old dude that had a wooden leg. It was insane.
Right.
But you got in the door.
But I got in the door, yeah, absolutely. And so I went on a couple of trips when they needed some extra help, but they hired another deckhand, and I ran and gunned for his job. You know, every little thing he did, I was like nitpicked it. You know, and
Yeah.
it was kind of a jerk move, but the industry's a small community,
Let's
so
go,
you got to do what you got to do.
That's right. I love it.
So he ended up leaving like quarter way through the season. So I got a job as a deckhand and worked up there for 2 years. But we did 100-mile runs out into the ocean. Fish for lingcod, halibut, and that was for Captain Steve's
Big
fishing
fish.
lodge. Yeah, I mean we're talking 300-pound fish.
Oh, yeah.
So
Wow.
I've done it.
yeah, it's a beautiful up there. I keep telling her I want to bring her up there. I was actually just talking to Captain Steve the other day on the phone, and he's like, "You sure you don't want to come up here?" And I'm like, "No, we just opened up our business. I wish I could." But I mean, if you ever get a chance to see Alaska, it's absolutely beautiful.
I want to go out there with Cody Taggart.
Yes, Cody's a good buddy of mine too. So it was a lot of fun, but I really grew with my passion for, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And then came back, got married, had kids, and then we kind of I was a boat salesman for a sales manager over at Eagle Motorsports. And like I said, then we kind of got back to my origin story about how I was just like, well, let's do something different,
Right. Captain Kenny, to be honest, it's kind of exciting, to hear your story, because I read a book called The Alchemist, and in the book, he has this feeling that he doesn't want to sacrifice his inner legend, the way he sees himself, and I think it's really nice to know that, you've gone through life having integrity with what you stand for and what your passions are. And for that reason, I think that, God's, manifesting and you're, putting yourself in this situation. So I think it's going to be more exciting in a few years when, you're so booked up, and we
have
retouch.
we have a 5-year plan. We have a 10-year plan.
Yeah. Do you guys listen to Grant Cardone at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Grant Cardone's my buddy. Yes. I love listening to him, and I mean that's where when I got into sales, because I wasn't a salesperson at all. I done fishing, hunting. I've done some ranching work, and when the opportunity arose there, it was kind of like, all right, well, this is a stable job. Like, we just freshly got married, ranching.
Got to step it up now.
Yeah. I can't be, Mr. Bachelor Kenny anymore, And so when I got into that, Grant Cardone was a huge, I watched all of his stuff, how do I do this, and I did really well in that position.
But you just know boats. It's easy to sell it's how anyone would buy a boat from him, right?
No, yeah, I think, like you said, you're like the common denominator in everything that's playing out.
I'm a firm believer that if you set your mind to something, nothing's too big.
No.
And that's, it's one of those things sure, this business costs a lot of money, but it's just money. At the end of the day, it's just money, but my happiness is more important. My family's happiness is more important. And like she said, we have huge, ambitions and goals to kind of expand the business.
We want more than to put it smallly, we want more than one boat operational on this
course.
river and the lake.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think you guys are going to take over the lake. I can see it now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we
think-
have some thoughts. I mean, NPS and what is it? Is it Cottonwood Cove and whatnot? Like,
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity for us, here in this area that people aren't capturing, and everybody's been really good to us so far that we've talked to, and everybody's believed in us. So, and it's all about who you surround yourself with.
100%.
And I'm even in my personal life, it's like I want to surround myself with people that are successful because. Not everybody's going to have a good day. When you're having a bad day and you surround yourself with someone that's successful, it's like, hey, buddy, get up. Come on. Dust your pants off. Let's figure this out.
It's
like,
the complainers.
It is.
Those are the ones that you got to watch out for. That's what
That's
I found
right.
for sure. But I think that your guys' future is set. I know it. I feel it. I think it's going to be on The
Appreciate it.
Simpsons.
thank you.
The moment it airs on
Seriously.
The Simpsons, it's guaranteed.
It is,
Yes.
it is.
But on that note, you guys, we're going to provide all the information so you guys can go visit their website, reach out to them, add them on Facebook. Lovely, lovely origin story. Lovely, lovely couple. I'm excited to be a part of it. And
You can't wait to go for a ride.
Yeah, I can't wait to go
have
for
you
a
guys.
ride.
We
Oh,
were talking. We were telling
like a
Chris, you guys
smash.
need to have a company party.
The Findlay party, yeah.
Oh,
Chris-
that'd be
Christmas
sick.
party. Come on.
Yeah,
Oh
right?
yeah, no, and they're about it too. They're not scared of nothing either. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely reach out. And in general, we appreciate you guys' time today. You guys go check them out. Go check out Captain Kenny, and have a lovely day. We appreciate you guys. Peace.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you very much for being on.
No problem.
We appreciate it. Had fun.
Dope, huh?
Yeah.
It was very cool.